How to Date a Masculine Gay Man. Hey guys, Michael Pizzulo here, psychotherapist in West Hollywood. So I want to talk to you about gay relationships and masculinity. So in general, I think what you're going to find when you look for couples therapy, well, first of all, most of it's focused on straight couples, but it tends to lean much more in the feminine versus the masculine, just overall. And I think this is a kind of a mistake, and it becomes even more complicated in gay relationships. Now, feminine and masculine are not about gender, right? Like there are two energies that there's a balance in everyone. When I think of masculine, I think of like the, assertiveness, protecting, providing, directness. And when I think of nurturing, I think of like the softness, the soothing, the connecting, the gentleness, and both are incredibly necessary. But I think what you're going to find is if you're a gay couple and you go to therapy is there's going to be a very heavy emphasis on feminine qualities, but not so much on masculine ones. And I think that's a huge miss because men tend to have, higher masculinity in general, and gay men do as well. So for that reason, I want to break down 5 pillars or 5 ways to conceptualize a masculine gay man if you're dating someone who is more on the masculine side, so that you can understand them and have a stronger bond with them. So the first thing is that masculine gay men communicate directly. They tend not to avoid conflict. They tend not to beat around the bush. They're not vague. When something's bothering them, they will address it head on, and they will let you know what they're thinking pretty quickly and pretty directly. So the good thing about that is that you don't have to typically read between the lines or wait to decipher some sort of passive aggressive something or other from them. You can expect that they will communicate to you pretty clearly. And if they don't, it's probably because nothing is wrong. The second one is that I think there's this misnomer out there that all men, and gay men, masculine men, whatever, are just waiting for an opportunity to be more vulnerable, to let their vulnerability out. And while I do agree that there's been a lot of programming that has shamed men away from being masculine, that is an issue, I don't think that masculine men are so eager for this vulnerability opportunity as people might think. I think actually what they're probably more jonesing for are opportunities to show their competence and to show their strength and to show their protection and their abilities, rather than moments to show their tender side. Don't get me wrong, those are important too, but I think there's a little bit of an overemphasis on, getting people to cry and getting people to be vulnerable, and that is very useful in a certain way, but I think that masculine men are going to lean a little bit more toward, a little bit away from that. The third one would be, just when it comes to sex, that for masculine gay men, sex is about pleasure, not emotion. For them, it's a physical thing, it's an urge, it's a desire, it's something they want, obviously, but it doesn't come with a lot of emotional baggage or connection. And that's neither good nor bad. For some people, sex is a way of connecting and bringing a lot of emotionality into a dynamic or a relationship, and that's great. But for someone who leans more masculine, you can expect that for them, it's going to be more of a physical urge that they enjoy, but they don't find to be very emotionally connecting. The fourth one is masculine gay men do want praise. So what I mean by that is that they may not be as inclined to talk about their feelings or talk about how upset they are about certain things, but because they really put a lot of their self-worth on their ability to be protectors and providers and show some sort of, force and effort in the world, they want feedback, they want praise, they want to know that their efforts are meaningful and have an impact, that they're doing a good job. So one way that you can really try to connect with the masculine gay man in your life is by showing him praise when you notice his efforts. So he's working hard, if he's done something for you, if there's acts of service, he's providing for you, whatever it is, letting him know that you see and appreciate his efforts is going to be very important as well, and be a great way to boost his self-esteem and make him feel more eager to keep going. And then the last one I would say is that masculine gay men are consistent. So with someone who is leaning more masculine, again, they tend to have more of a directness and a loyalty to them, but also a consistency, that they tend to show up in the world in a pretty consistent way, so that their behavior is often pretty predictable. So, if you're looking for someone who is just, you never know what you're going to get and they're, I don't know, all over the place, then this might be a little bit boring for you or uninteresting to you, I guess. But masculine men tend to really value stability and loyalty, and there's a consistency in terms of how they present themselves in the world, meaning that if they are a certain way on day one, they're probably going to be that way on day 100 or day 1000 or whatever it is. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. And again, I want to emphasize that this isn't about gender, because women can be masculine, straight men can be masculine, gay men can be feminine. Both of these qualities are important for everyone. But I do think that leaning into and understanding the masculine element of gay men is overlooked, and it's usually only talked about just in terms of like tropes and hobbies about, I drink beer and I watch sports or whatever, but less in terms of what the masculinity actually is in terms of their personality and their emotional expression. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this topic. I'm really curious to hear if you've thought about it and what your perspective is. As always, please subscribe to my channel if you want more videos about gay men, gay relationships, and that sort of thing. And if you want to talk to me directly about working with me as a therapist or a coach, the link will be in the description. And as always, I appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.